Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Deja, and if you're back, thanks for coming back. I appreciate you. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the process of filming my videos and uploading them and all the steps that I take and all the equipment that I use to accomplish producing a YouTube video. I'll also be talking about the Canon M50 a little more in depth, including the photography side of things as well. Everything that I mentioned today as far as equipment will be listed in the description box below. So if you're interested in purchasing those things, feel free to use my links below. So without further ado, let's get right into today's video. So before I can even pull out my camera to even film a video, I have to start off by writing a script. But before I write a script, I have to do research on the topic that I'll be talking about. A lot of my videos require a lot of research, me looking at other TikToks, looking at other YouTubers, give references, Google. I do the whole 9 yards. You remember when we used to write essays in high school and we had to do like rough drafts and all of that kind of stuff? I feel like I would have done really well with video essays than like writing essays. I would have got straight A's in English if we had that option. But yeah, it's just like that. You research for a paper, you write the paper. That's what I'm doing. I'm researching for the video, and then I write the script for the video, and then I make the video, if that makes sense. Now, research can, go from being really heavy to not being that heavy, depending on what the topic is, of course. The video I did about the danger of white women tears, I had to do tons of research for that video because obviously I'm talking about something heavy versus a video when I'm talking about my unpopular opinions. I don't really have to do much research for that. I find it nearly impossible to get on camera and just start speaking unless I know exactly what I'm talking about, like today, because I will start going off the rails, and it is not a fun time during editing because I'm like, I did all this talking to say nothing, and now I'm sitting here have to redo a video because I couldn't stay on script. So I have to write a script for my personal use. Not every YouTuber do that, but most YouTubers do. So everything you hear me saying in most videos, it's written down in my notes. I just recently did a video about the rise of quiet quitting, and here is an example of like the script that I wrote for this video. See how I just wrote the title, and then I think I wrote intro, and then I was going to put a disclaimer in there for my job if they ever came across this video. And then this is just me speaking and everything that I was going to talk about. That's an example of a script. Sometimes I don't write down everything word for word. Some videos I do. If you're doing a video, I would recommend even writing down like bullet points of some of the things that you're going to be speaking of. Because again, when you start talking to a camera, things just start to go blank up here. Like you don't remember anything you thought about before. It's your preference. You do whatever works for you. Now, once I'm done writing my script and getting all of that research done, I move on to set up and filming the video. Now, this is how I set up my videos, but let me just say, when I first started YouTube, I was literally just using my phone. My iPhone 8 was what I was using. Nothing else. You don't need all this fancy equipment to be successful at YouTube or to even make a YouTube video. You don't even have to write a script. Do your thing, girl, but this is how I do mine. I'm gonna take a picture of what I'm saying right now and insert it in the video. As you can see, I'm standing in my kitchen right now because I didn't want to do the whole sit down setup. But when I do the sit down setup, I can show you. You can look at my other videos and see what I mean by that. Also today, the lighting in here was really well, so I didn't need to use my Softbox lights, but I can also show you what those look like as well. And the links for all of that will be down below, even the tripod that I use. So to be very specific on what I use, let's start with what camera I use. I use the Canon M50 Mark II. Now, I bought this camera about a year ago when I was really trying to invest in doing my photography and stuff like that, and invest in really getting into my YouTube. I decided to buy this camera. I paid a total of about close to $1,000. It didn't really hit that $1,000 mark. I might have went like over 900. I bought the camera kit, and it came with a kit lens as well. I can show you that. This is the kit lens that I first was using. Frick, stop focusing on me, damn it. 15 to 45 millimeter Canon kit lens. It's a very wide angle lens, and it comes in the Canon M50 kit if you're interested in that. Like again, it is very wide, so it gets a very wide shot of what you're doing, and it's great for vlogging videos as well. I also got a 50mm 1.8 STM lens. Now that is also referred to as the Nifty 50. That freaking lens is a game changer, okay? If you're going to invest in a lens as your first lens when you get this camera, I would definitely recommend getting the Nifty 50. It did not disappoint. If you want a more crisp, clear photo like I have, blurry background or what we call bokeh, you would absolutely love this lens. Now on the photography side of things with this camera, here's some reference photos of the work that I have done. If you want to see my entire portfolio, I'll have a link down below for my Facebook or my Instagram, either one. You can look at that and it has all my work up there. So you can really see how good the 50mm lens and the Canon M50 works well together. You can see what it's capable of, boo. And if you go look at all the rest of my videos, I'm using the same setup. So you can really see how crisp and really make that decision if you want to make that purchase for this camera and this lens. I would definitely recommend. I wouldn't lie to you, girl. In the kit, it also came with this little Canon charger and it came with one battery, so just be mindful of that. You might want to buy a couple other batteries because the Canon M50 battery don't last that long, especially when you're filming and stuff like that. I would say it lasts about an hour or two, but that's really just depending how much you're using your camera that day. Next is audio, which is very important when filming a video. And this is what I use for audio. The Blue Yeti, as you can see here, that is how I record my audio. And I'll have a link to the tripod, the softbox lights, the Canon M50, the lenses that I use, the mic, everything will be linked down below so you can take a look at everything. I also would like to add that the Canon M50 is a budget camera. If you're just starting off in photography or starting off with YouTube or videography or whatever, I would recommend getting this camera because it's cheap, it's under $1,000, and it's a really good camera for the price point. The Canon M50 Mark II has my approval. It has not disappointed me. But that's pretty much it I have to say about that. Let's move on into the next topic. So let's move into editing. Now, although I do have a MacBook, I don't prefer using it because I got so used to using my phone to edit over the years that I don't know how to edit on my MacBook. And I've been trying to teach myself, but I find it to be a lot more time consuming and frustrating because I don't know what I'm doing. So I have used this phone for 3 years since I've had it since 2019. I've used this phone to edit every single one of my YouTube videos. I've also used this phone to edit every single one of my photography photos. Every single one of them. I have never used a MacBook to edit anything. So if you think that you need some fancy laptop to edit your videos, you're wrong. This phone is very much banged and battered up, but that's okay. It's done everything I needed it to do and more. I just recently got me a new one and I'm probably gonna freaking use that to edit all my videos too. I've had this MacBook for about like 3 months now, and I don't like using it. I don't know. I find it to be so frustrating to use, but I think it's because I've got so used to doing it on my phone. It's not as easy and cut and dry as it is on the phone than it is on the MacBook. So, but there is one video on YouTube that has helped me a ton, even learn the simple basics of editing on the MacBook, and I'll have that down below. Shout out to her and her channel. She did a wonderful job explaining how to use iMovie on the MacBook in editing YouTube videos. Now, InShot is the app that I predominantly use to edit my videos from start to finish. And SuperX and Pose and Fonto is what I use to edit my thumbnails from start to finish. But that's pretty much it for editing. That's what I use, and I hope that was helpful. Once I have the video uploaded to YouTube, I go back to YouTube Studio to really monitor like my views and things of that such, and then I use TubeBuddy to monitor everything else. They help me figure out keywords, they help me figure out the whole 9 yards, and I would recommend using those 2 apps if you're starting a YouTube channel or even been on YouTube for a while and you haven't. One fun thing with TubeBuddy is that it shows the milestones that you have accomplished. And that's really fun for someone that's especially starting off, because you're like, oh my God, I just hit 25,000 views. Like, it makes you feel really good when you see those milestones and make you want to keep going. and it just really keeps you updated on that. TubeBuddy is a free browser extension and mobile app that integrates directly into YouTube to help you run your channel with ease. TubeBuddy helps you find high-performing, searchable video topics and then craft the perfect titles and tags for you. Millions of YouTube creators use this app, and I would highly recommend using it as well. And the cool thing about TubeBuddy is that you can add keywords into their keyword explorer, and it'll show you if it's a good keyword or if it's a weak keyword or if people are searching that keyword or not. And it'll really help you really make a good title and add certain keywords into your YouTube description and things of that such. Well guys, that's all I have for today's video. If you don't mind, give this video a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Feel free to comment any questions or concerns you have about anything, and I'll be happy to answer those for you. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.